G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel Bonsai Works. I'm David. Today we've got another little Shimpaku juniper. Surprise, surprise, probably that's all you see of me these days, Shimpaku junipers, but I love them. I think they're one of the best species to work on and create beautiful bonsai with. This little Shimpaku is featured in a number of my videos before where I created this design. Go through my channel, there's lots there. So this tree has a nice little trunk. You can see the nice canopy of foliage that I created there. It has a really nice back to it as well. Unfortunately, all the foliage doesn't sit well from the back view. The foliage looks really good from this side. And you can still see, you know, the dead wood, the live vein, especially. You want to see the live vein. So once I repop this, I'll be able to see the live vein a bit better. You just don't see this nice dead wood work at the back. So it's a bit of a tricky one, this one. This had two really good fronts. I ended up having to go with this side because I couldn't get the foliage to the back of that tree, so if that makes sense. So that's what we're planning on doing. However, look at the pot, it's huge, it's humongous, it doesn't look good. It's time to be repotted, this tree. I also want to make sure we clean out a lot of these weeds, and when I repot, make sure to clean it all out really well. It's coming into probably late winter now, I guess. The weather actually this season has been quite warm for winter. We haven't really had really cold winter this year in Melbourne. Things go dormant, of course, but we're coming out of winter, I think, a little bit early this year. So trying to get through my repotting. All the deciduous trees are done. Now just getting into my conifers, which ones I want to repot. Really the ones I want to repot are changing the pots for them, or getting them to smaller pots, or that they're quite compact. And you'll see in future videos that I've got planned, the soil is quite compact and the water's not getting through, so it means it needs to repot. All right, so enough talking. Let's start doing. So I've got a couple of ideas. I just want to get through this tree. I have no idea what the roots are really going to look like on this tree, so it'll be a bit of an exploration. So just a couple of things. There's a couple of the pots that I have planned. So I've got this little cascade pot I want to maybe use, or I've got this nice little round kind of pot that I want to use. So they're gonna both look good. I think this one's probably better, but we'll see what it looks like. Because it's not a real cascade as such, it's like a semi-cascade. That's probably, this one's a bit, maybe, I don't know. We'll have a look what they look like in the tree. But unfortunately it's windy again today. As you can see, everything flying behind me. What happens in Melbourne is you get beautiful days in winter, but they're just so windy. And then you get big storms at night to change the weather. So it's really weird. But anyway, that's Melbourne weather for you. But let's see how we go with this tree. Just got to get something. Just stop making a mess. Nice little grow pot to grow through future trees in. Now we just want to work through, clean up this. I just want to clean up a lot of the weeds at the top first. Really expose what this root looks like, this nabari looks like, I should say. Now you can see I'm using my hands in this case. It's a small tree, probably doesn't need a root hook. And the soil, when it's a good quality soil that pulls apart, it's quite easy to work with. Now, sometimes I do give these trees almost a half bare root, if that makes sense. I don't bare root the whole tree, but for example, some parts that I will wash out with some water, but there's some parts I won't. So it's just a bit of a balancing act. Sometimes I really want to get right into it and find out what's going on with the tree, especially around the nabari. So that's where I mainly focus my attention. So nice healthy roots, lots of them. No problem there. With junipers, I don't cut back like trident maples and so on. I only cut back slightly. But I do look for heavy roots. So you probably see now, key with some of these trees is this. See how heavy that root is? That's why it's important to have a look and use your hands, and you can feel it. You can feel all the roots, right? You want to keep the fine roots. They're the ones that feed the tree. heavy roots are not what you want. And that heavy root has only kind of got a, not even that, that's not even part of it. That heavy root really has hardly any roots on it. So very good indication of what we can root prune quite quickly and easily. This enables us to like reduce the root ball and get into it. So look at that, that's a bit of a useless root. Sometimes I just get my branch cutters even and go right in and take it off. And look, that's had hardly any roots. It's only got a few, so that's not bad at all. That's pretty good. It's a good result. Just going to feel through other sections, find other roots. So this tree's actually got quite a few heavy roots that are useless. So there's another one. So really, I could probably keep a lot of the feeder roots in this tree by just removing some of the heavier roots. And I've probably got one down here that's kind of irrelevant as well. And then I'll probably leave the rest. There's another long one here. It's got a bit more fold, got a bit more root there, but that's okay. We can deal with that. And there's the other one gone. So that's about as much of the root ball that I would remove in this repot. I'll just make sure I comb out all the roots. Some of this one's broken, so I'll get rid of that. Oh, actually, there's one more dead one here, so I'm going to get rid of you as well. All right, so another one. All right, that's enough, I think. Nice, easy. Let's see how that looks. Like that will look. That's what we end up with. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a spray with the hose at the top of this tree. I just want to see the Nabari, what it looks like. And it's pretty much almost a bare root now. It's pretty close. All right, so it's going to go into my nice open mix soil. Should go really well. I'll give it a bit of protection after I repot, just because it's gone through a bit of a shock. And what I mean by a bit of protection, just in terms of, semi-shade rather than full sun just yet. And out of the wind. Like the wind's pretty strong, you can see, and that will dry trees out. So then we'll look at positioning of this tree. Okay. All right, everyone, so the tree's looking nice and healthy. Just give it a little bit of a rinse. I'm just still pulling some weeds out. I don't like weeds growing in there. But now we're in the point of trying to decide on a pot. Now, I was having a quick look myself. A little bit in two minds about this tree. In terms of the pot I want to use. Let me get it right, I'll show you what it looks like. Maybe I can decide whilst I look at the tree. Just to show you what I'm looking at. I've got that view, which looks really good. I think that is a nice pot. I'm going to tilt the tree. This is how the tree was before. Now I'm going to tilt it this way a little bit. Gives you the nice deadwood on the right side. Tilting the tree this way, you'll be able to see the live vein better, and the tree looks more centered. It looks really nice in this pot like that. The other option is this pot, which looks pretty good too. Same structure, same way. Now it looks good in this pot too. You notice my dilemma. I think if I had a more cascading tree, this pot would be even better. It's because it's gone upright, I think I'm going to go choosing this pot. I don't know what you guys think, but I'd love to hear comments. It's always good to read your comments. But I think this pot will look better for the style of the tree. Because I'm going more upright, it looks better that way. That's the thinking. I wanted this to go to the right more. I didn't want it to be straight up. So that's the big change, and that's the change why this looks a bit better for me, and that's what I think. All right, so I'm going to just go prepare the pot, put wire in it, prepare some soil, and get stuck into repotting it. We'll be back soon. All right, everyone. So I've repotted the tree. Unfortunately, the videoing didn't work, but that's okay. It's just a repotting, pretty straightforward. This is what I chose as going to be the front. So it came up pretty good. Just trying to tweak it a little bit. I think that might be a little bit better now looking in the camera. So you can see this little foot here is where the front should be. So I'm just a little bit off. That's okay. We'll give it time. Give it work on the tree a bit more. Get it right. I think the tree looks better. A little bit tilted to that way. Might be able to move it slightly in the pot. Just slightly. It is tied in, but I can just tweak it a little bit, whichever way I want to go. So, one more. So just make sure I work that soil back in. Because it's still freshly repotted, you can still maneuver, but I don't want to move it too much. but I think that probably just looks a bit better. But I don't know, I think it's come along really well. I think now all we do now is work on the foliage pads over time, get them much more defined, get the tree looking more cleaner, better, get the nice canopy filled out a bit more, get the levels nice and clean. You can see they're a bit messy at the moment, lots of downward foliage that I've got to clean up. But all in all, I think it's come along really well in this new pot. I think it's quite nice for it. It works really well. It's not a cascade as such anymore. But it's one of those in-between trees, you know, it's in between a semi-cascade, but is it a literati or is it an informal? So it's kind of in between, so that's why I like this pot for it. I think the little cascade pot, if it was a bit more cascadey, if it was like that somehow, it would be good for it. But got a few more trees I want to repot, so stay tuned for more videos and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See ya.